Morning. So I woke up this morning and watched a little bit of the replays on the debates. Of course, nothing new. I just noticed that it's CNN, and I mean there's so many softball questions, and it just seems like the moderators don't challenge. Um, they don't really challenge them with hard questions or put them on the spots in comparison to how things are going today, as far as like, okay, so let's see, the economy is doing this, and this is how many jobs have been created. We're at this percentage. Things are well for minorities across the board. What would you do better? They never do any of that because they won't have an answer. And of course, it'll be this, and then if they do answer, it'll be a stock answer like, always things could be better because, there's inequality. They'll still throw that inequality card out there. But again, it just goes to show you that there's such a bias in the media, Hollywood, entertainment in general. Would it be on the media, on the radio, TV, movies? It's just there's such a bias out there that you never know if you keep getting the same talking points and accepting them. Then how do you know there's no different viewpoint? You're not getting one, and so you're kind of stuck in this same frame of mind, and you need to go out and just think for yourself. You need to get out of that brainwashed. I mean, it's just crazy how deep embedded it is. I mean, I just talked the other day to somebody from New York I grew up with, and oh my God, they just like, we just got into a discussion, and it just seems like they just parrot or say the same thing that they've been saying. And I'm like, well, don't you think it's time to try something different? I mean, if you feel like you're stuck in the same situation, or people that are, I mean, try something different. And that's the thing. Donald Trump is different. He's not gonna say the politically correct thing. He does make fun of people. He's a bully because, of course, he comes from a business background. He's just like an average person, but just a billionaire average person. But he's from New York. He's from Queens. And the thing is that people like that, they're very sensitive. I know I'm from New York, and I'm very sensitive. I know most New Yorkers, they're very sensitive, and they don't like to be made fun of or attacked, because they fight back. It's just the way it is. That's the way we are. We, for lack of saying something better, it's almost like New Yorkers are immature, like to a certain degree. They're like childish. Like if you attack them with words, they're gonna attack you with words. That's how it is. And I think we need to, get to the point in this country, because we're so divided. We need to get to the point in the country now where almost like, coming in the middle and agreeing on certain things like that we can agree on. And if we can do that, if we can have a conversation on things that we can agree on, and then we can work our way to the things we don't agree on. But yeah, it's I watched those debates and I didn't get anything from these candidates. And, and I think we need to have Democrats. We can't just have a strong Republican president or conservative president. We need to balance that out, and we need to have that balance in the House and in the Senate, because then, then you'll just, if you don't have that balance, if you, let's say we all go out and vote red this 2020 because we don't like to see that our two ways taken away from us, abortion, or like the left like to say, women's reproductive rights. If we don't like Common Core and we want more school choice, yeah, I would vote more on the Republican side. But that doesn't mean that the Democrats don't have good ideas. It's just the way they go about telling us their ideas. It always feels like they're telling us their ideas because it's, this is what we want and this is what you're going to get, instead of saying, probably putting it in a different way. We know, and I mean, just open a book. I don't think young Americans understand socialism, because for them to think that Bernie Sanders is going to bring this country to a utopia, no, it's not going to be a utopia. It's going to be quite the opposite, because socialism doesn't work. You could put a democratic socialism in front of it. You could put it New Age socialism. You could put whatever you want. Anything that's going to go in front of socialism or on the back of it is still socialism, and it does not work. It always comes down to you using other people's money, other people's resources, and when those run out, what do? I mean, you got to think about that. And again, I watched that video about that guy that worked for Bernie talking about fascism. Fascism exactly is what he was what he was doing when he was talking on those videos. That's fascism. That's what you say. We're not going to allow Republicans to say what they want to say. We're going to burn down the cities. We're going to go out there and we're going to protest and we're going to make riots and we're going to fight. We're going to fight. That's fascism, my friend. If you don't realize, you talk about what's fascism, what isn't fascist. That's the definition of fascist. And then always labeling something that's on the opposite view, like calling, people who align themselves with Trump Nazis. I mean, the term Nazi now has lost all meaning, which is unfortunate, because real Nazis were pure evil. And we somehow use the word so frequently now as diluted. I mean, you can call anything a Nazi. Now it's lost its meaning. And that's unfortunate, because a lot of people suffered under Nazism. And, now that we use it as like you go to Starbucks and somebody says something and they don't like Starbucks, or they protest Starbucks, Nazis, you for example, the actor that sat with President at the football game, he just probably asked him where he got his shoes at. Who knows? He could have asked him, hey, how are the hot dogs? No one knows that conversation. All of a sudden he's got canceled, culture hitting him hard, and that could be called Nazism. I mean, so the word has to start being used to, just because somebody has an opposing view. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it like that. You guys leave your comments, give me ideas, tips. I'm gonna get to the point where I'll start editing these, adding videos, and probably just articles from different sources of newspapers, or online media. I read as much as I can on all this stuff. I just have my own viewpoints. I don't want to regurgitate somebody else's viewpoints. I just use my own. I take what they say and I say, okay, if I agree with it or not, and then I just make it my own. I think you guys should do the same. Okay, we'll talk soon. Bye-bye.